Bubble Busters!
I'm Ben. I lived alone when I was working for a company. After I quit, I moved back to my parents' home. My parents live in the countryside, and their house is a 20-minute drive from the station, so it's quite convenient. But I felt more comfortable living in nature than in a bustling city, so I didn't have any complaints.
Hey, bro, how's it going?
Oh, snap. It's you, Luke.
Oh, come on, don't say that to your dearest little brother. I thought I'd contact you since you might be bored being jobless in the countryside.
You haven't come back home since you left and barely contacted us. And even if you did, you would only ask me to lend you some money. Of course I'd be alerted.
You make me sound like a terrible person.
So what do you want? I'm busy now.
How can you be so busy when you're jobless? Or are you busy taking an afternoon nap?
I'm gonna block you.
Wait! I'm coming back to live with Mom and Dad, too. I'll be there the day after in the morning.
Huh? What do you mean you're coming back? What about your work? Aren't you living with your girlfriend, too?
I quit work and broke up with her. I got so tired of working like an ant every day. I want to live a slow life like you. It must be fun to have an Animal Crossing life.
A slow life, I see.
Why don't you get a job, brother? It's embarrassing to be jobless in your 30s. The neighbors must be talking about you. Don't you feel ashamed to be jobless?
Nobody's talking about me.
I'll make Mom and Dad proud. They can tell the neighbors that their handsome son, who used to work in the city, has come home.
You keep saying I'm jobless, but what are you going to do after you come back? You won't be able to find a job here.
What are you talking about? I'm going to stay home and be jobless. Hey! You've enjoyed your life being jobless. Now it's my turn. Let's switch. Also, can you move out? I'd like to enjoy my jobless life without you.
Don't be so selfish. Why do I have to leave just because you want me to?
The house is too small for 4 people. Plus, Mom and Dad have always liked me better. I'm sure they'll be happier to have me at home instead of you.
Fine. I'll let you have it your way, as much as I hate this. But I'll need you to promise me one thing. Since I've been helping around the house, you must do the same after I move out, okay?
That's it? What did you even do? Clean the washroom?
I'll tell you when you get there. Alright, I'll go pack now.
Thanks, brother. I'm glad it didn't take much persuasion to get you to leave.
My parents had a revolted look on their faces after I showed them my younger brother's messages. They said, "He's moving back? He must have some selfish reasons." I packed my car and was ready to move out. I didn't have any furniture or appliances, so all I packed were my clothes, books, and some hobby items. On the day Luke came back, I went to pick him up at the station. And there he was, carrying a giant suitcase like he was going to another country.
Wow! Is this your car? I want it!
Not gonna happen. Buy yourself a used car since you plan to live here for some time. You'll need it to get around. Also, why is your suitcase so dirty? There's mud on my rear seats now. What a day.
Oops, sorry. I'll ask Mom and Dad for a car then. It's all good. Wow, is it that rural? Do they even have convenience stores here?
Yes, in the nearest city.
That's insane! When a city boy like me comes to the countryside, all the girls will be fighting over me.
Don't worry. There's no girls in the area. Only aunties and grannies live here.
Fine, I'll talk to grannies then. No one can resist my charm.
Sure. Be as charming as you can.
Is my room ready?
Yeah, I cleaned out the room, and I'm moving out tonight.
I kind of feel bad for taking your place.
Mom and Dad are looking forward to seeing you. They can't wait to talk with you.
Well, the younger child is always the parent's favorite. Oh, I can see the house now!
Luke was getting more and more excited as we got closer to home. But as soon as he saw the house from a close distance, he realized it was different from what he remembered. His excitement and smiles started to fade away. Jobless? Be ashamed of myself? He's got some nerve to say that to me. Time to trouble buster him!
What? Are those people lining up in front of our house?
Yep.
But why? Oh my god, look at all those people! Huh? It looks like some kind of store.
Yep.
Ramen? What is this? What happened to our house while I was away?
You really didn't pay attention to the messages Dad and I sent you. It's been like this for 4 years.
What? What happened?
After Dad retired, Mom and Dad renovated the house and opened a ramen restaurant. It was their dream to open a small restaurant together. There was no ramen place in this area, right? So Mom and Dad started to make ramen as a hobby, but then the locals loved their food, so the restaurant has grown into a full-fledged business.
How? Dad worked in an office before.
Yeah, he also worked at his friend's ramen restaurant for a year before opening his own. Mom and Dad thought they could only make ordinary tasty food at first, but since they're both such perfectionists and put their mind to it, their ramen soon became very popular. Dad's friend came to help when they first opened. But now, Mom and Dad are running the restaurant just fine.
I've heard people opening bakeries or pizzerias as a hobby after retirement, but ramen?
A YouTuber came to try the food one day because he found it interesting that someone opened a ramen restaurant in the middle of nowhere. After his video went viral, more and more media came. Since then, there's always been a line in front of the restaurant. It's like that every day. People would even rent a car just to come here.
Wait, so by helping around the house, you meant...
Yes, you need to work at the restaurant. The part-time workers all quit because it was so busy that they didn't even have time to sit down or drink water. Dad had no choice but to ask for my help. That's why I quit my job in the city and came back.
Are you serious? Why didn't you tell me earlier?
Be prepared to work. You won't be able to relax until everything's sold out or it's time to close. You can only eat your lunch standing behind the house. And also, you might want to be careful of heat stroke.
What? I don't want any of that! I came back to enjoy my jobless life! There's no way I'll work!
But a promise is a promise, right? You said you'll help and do the same as I did. Work hard, brother.
I didn't know this! I'm leaving!
Sure, go ahead. But you don't have a place to go back to. Do you even have money to rent an apartment?
How do you know that?
I have my ways. More on that later. I also know you borrowed $20,000 to please some girl, and that's why your fiancé dumped you. Then you had to borrow more money to cover the canceled wedding. You couldn't pay back the loans, so the debt collector started calling your company. That's why you had to quit your job.
What the heck? Who told you all this?
You put our parents' home phone number on your emergency contact list at work. Your boss called and said that he's been getting calls from the debt collector looking for you, and you've been absent from work.
Did he? I can't believe him!
Well, you don't need to worry about it now. Dad's going to help you with your debts.
What? Really? He's gonna pay off all my debts?
Yep, all of it.
Yay! My parents are awesome! I have nothing to worry about now. I'm so glad I came back.
They said you can pay them back by working at the restaurant. They're paying you $12 an hour plus meals.
So that means I have to work at their super busy ramen place?
Obviously. Good luck. You start today. I'm leaving tomorrow, so you must learn everything before that.
No! No!
Even though you don't get to enjoy your jobless life, aren't you glad you're back home? I started training Luke after we got home and made sure he worked hard enough. His face got red and he shrieked and wept while serving ramen. He begged our parents to let him quit, but they refused. I could finally take a break from the hard work and leave my hometown. I stayed in a hotel for a while and moved into an apartment. I didn't have a chance to spend money when I was home, so I saved up quite a bit. Instead of looking for a job right away, I decided to watch movies I didn't get to watch and take my time picking furniture for the apartment I rented. I'm enjoying my city life now. Trouble Busters!